Well, for more on the future of the retail industry, we're going to bring in Burt Flickinger from the Strategic Resource Group. Burt, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you, Susan.
So let me tell you, in the case of Ralph Lauren, from personal experience, I can tell you that their online merchandise is often discounted compared to at least some of the exact same items in their stores. I had the experience this summer. I saw something in the store that I loved. I went home, looked on the computer. It was 30% cheaper. Was this closing the company's own undoing?
Definitely is, Susan. To your point, Ralph Lauren and John's present points has had turmoil in the boardroom for 5 to 15 years. They've made their numbers by adding too much inventory, too many stores, and they were a Maginot Line of merchandising, like the same mistakes the French generals made in the 1930s before World War II. They needed air cover in terms of online, to your good points, didn't have it, and shopper demand in the States, there's 400% more real estate square meters than what shopper demand dictates. And while land-based retail is still 7/8 of total retail, stores like Ralph Lauren were paying rents that were 500 to 1,500% too high, and for a chain that was significantly overstored. Similar same problems J. Crew's reported.
I was just going to say, J. Crew, same experience. You can go to the outlet malls. You can find the same deals there, cheaper prices online. Was this the same business model?
Same business model, Susan, but also at Cornell University, where I teach, and I'm on the advisory board of the Council for Fashion Innovation and Fiber Design. What we found is that J. Crew did not have good quality anymore, did not have the bright primary colors that Professor Miller always referenced in his work, did not have the blues, did not have red, black, white, had a lot of pale pastel colors, unpopular with consumers, didn't sell, and the sizing didn't fit. And with all these problems in retail, the one thing that the manufacturers in the PRC and worldwide have going for them is the increasing obesity of America and the Western world. So people have to go to the stores to try on the proper fit of the fashion, and where you have good leadership that's not older and too wealthy to innovate like Ralph Lauren is and Mickey Drexler at J. Crew is, where you have good leadership, you'll have winning retail, as evidenced by the comeback, fantastic comeback of JCPenney, the comeback of Walmart for the first time in 55 years in basic fashion, and the ongoing strength of Selfridges, Harrods, Bloomingdale's, and a number of the strong high market department store chains worldwide.
Now, I would love to talk sizing with you, how some of these brands like J. Crew, they've gone down to, are you a 000, are you a 00, to accommodate those and possibly the obesity population. But let's move on. Let's talk about the consignment stores that are popping up everywhere. I mean, this may just be in the urban areas, but I see them everywhere, and I feel like more people are shopping at these consignment stores. Hey, where'd you get that Gucci bag? Where'd you get that top? Oh, I got it at so-and-so's consignment shop. Are the millennials spending their money here?
The millennials are definitely spending their money, but they're the smartest shoppers in the history of modern retail and consumerism. And part of the problem with the consignment shop is they consign to companies like Barney's that are struggling financially, and if the bills are being paid late, possibly not in full, there are less goods and less depth and range of product in the consignment stores. So consignment stores definitely work well, but also on the flip side, big designing houses like Kering and LVMH, Gucci, have limited the assortment during the fashion season to the leading creditworthy department stores. So when consumers go to the full-service department stores, there's not enough product. In the consignment stores, there's not enough product. So the consumer chooses not to buy in many cases. So the designers are creating some of their own problems, whether it's consignment on the discount cash flow side, all the way to the full service side of department stores.
Right, you feel like this is going to trickle on down into the real estate world because, you know, if they're not going to get the rents that they demand, then what's going to happen to all these shops in Main Street America? Well, they've been going under actually with Walmart and some of the bigger stores.
Susan, it's a proverbial back to the future when Galerie Lafayette closed its flagship store in New York City 25 years ago because then Donald Trump, as a realtor, was charging too much rent. What you'll see is the rents come down to retail reality. You'll have a real renaissance starting in 2020 of full fashion and accessory stores doing extremely well. In the meantime, we'll have to weather this increasing retail ice age from this year through 2019, where there'll be a lot of retail rationalization, Darwinian destruction. But the end of it all, the designers and the retailers that have great innovators, great leaders, and we're seeing that with the students from the People's Republic of China at Cornell. Great innovation, great personal work ethic, great professional ethics, and tremendous sense of entrepreneurism and design. They're some of the best design students anywhere in the world working for the best design houses and retailers. And the students from the PRC at Cornell, FIT, and elsewhere will revolutionize the fashion world and stage a remarkable comeback for basic fashion as we move into next decade, all the way to high fashion in the major fashion cities in Europe, as well as Tokyo, PRC, and elsewhere in the major developed countries.
Well, Burt Flickinger, we really appreciate your time.
Thank you,
for
Susan.
your fashion sense and your advice, joining us from New York.